Oh, if you're watching this live, that means you're alive. If you're watching this video, then that means you're still alive. And let me tell you something, my brother and my sister. If you're still alive, that means you still got work to be done. You've got more exploring to explore. You've got more life to be living. Glory. Come on now. You've got more love to be loving. You got more connections to be connected to. I thought that'd be funny to start the video off with. A lot of truth in that, but that's taken me back to my roots a little bit. Some of you know, and probably a lot of you don't know, 3 years of Bible school, man. I studied the crap out of that stuff. That was my life for the longest time, because it was such a beautiful and wonderful belief system, right? To have a belief is an act of certainty. I am certain that when I die, I'm going somewhere. I'm certain that when I pray, my prayers are answered. I'm certain there's somebody out there watching over me, right? Those are all beliefs because they're an act of certainty. You have made yourself certain that these things exist and that they're real and that it works. And that is what makes life beautiful. Certainty. But let me ask you this. Have you ever felt certain about something that didn't work or that didn't take place? What happens then? Then you question that certainty. And ultimately then you question that belief. I'm not asking you to question your belief system on relationship or religion, but you most certainly can, and you most certainly can benefit from evaluating all of those belief systems. And that ties in to the belief systems of our life, how we see ourselves, how we see other people. It also ties into our belief system about money, which is what we're still on the subject of for the rest of the week, is about money. So, with the shenanigans aside after that little display, let me ask you a question. The title of this video, good morning, Brian. Thanks for joining, brother. We got a little spiritual up in the house this morning. Come on. Can I get a witness? No, I'm just acting a little wild today. I feel good. Stretched out, warmed up, got in the sauna this morning, stretched all those muscles out. And, just looking forward to all of the plans and the goals and trying to hit just one day at a time, trying to keep everything elevated. Keep the mood elevated, keep the positivity elevated, all of that good stuff. But my title today is Money Equals Happiness. I really want you to think about that for a moment. What does that mean to you? Let's take a moment to define happiness. Happiness is a state of being. It's an emotion. And what are emotions? Emotions are what I like to think of are the spice of life. They add flavor. They add excitement. They add a little bit of pizzazz. If you're happy one day and the next day you're not happy, what happens? Are you no longer considered a happy person then? Is it just happy for that day? Does it mean you're no longer a happy person? I mean, if you're angry one day, are you an angry person now? Or is it just an emotion? The way I see it, anger, happiness, excitement, those are all emotions that come and go in our life. And we can invite the ones we want in, reject the ones we don't want. But either way, they add the flavor to life. They point a direction that you might take a look at and say, okay, why am I feeling this? Is it pointing a direction that I need to change something? Does something need to be different? That's what emotion means to me. kind of an arrow pointing in a direction that something maybe needs to be examined. So money equaling happiness, is that true? Let me ask you this question. If I came to visit you today, and I can totally see myself doing this in the future once I start building this channel, and I deliver a $50 scratch ticket to you, and by some odd chance that you scratch that ticket off and win $50,000 or $5,000 or $1,000, would you be happy? Or would you feel a different emotion? Would you be excited? So in that context, can money equal happiness? That's up to you. You tell me. You think about that for yourself. I know I have my ideas and my thoughts already on it. Let me ask you another question. When you don't have money and can't take care of the things that you want to take care of or need to take care of, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? Now, what happens if you had the money to take care of those bills? What emotion would you feel then? Would you feel happy? What about your house? What if you were able to upgrade to a nicer house or a nicer car? How would that make you feel? So you see, I think it's all about the context that we talk about this emotion. Maybe if we want to talk about more long-term emotion, maybe we could use the word content. So, does money make you content? Well, that comes with a whole nother set of questions. Does money make you content? Would money make you content? Would you be content if money came into your life and bills were no longer an option? All of a sudden, that stress came off of your life, that frustration. What if you had the freedom to choose what you wanted in life because money was a thing in your life? You know, if it wasn't a thing and then it became a thing, what would that do to your emotional state? I tell you what, man, I have really no belief in really anything because I'm really not certain of anything. But I am open to everything because there is definitely beauty out here. There is energy. There is life. I love it. But for me, I'm on a discovery. I'm always trying to learn, grow, figure things out. And sometimes I have to be careful because you go too far. There are some things you just are not going to be able to figure out. We're only wired a certain way. You can only go so far with the material and tools that we have. And so I have to be careful to not run myself into the ground trying to figure out things that really can't figure out. But let's get back to the subject here on happiness and money. I think most people tend to say money does not equal happiness, or money, doesn't make you happy, or however they say it to put a negative spin on it. I think there's some truth to it, because where does happiness truly come from? I mean, is it considered an excitement? Sometimes. Is it considered a fulfillment? Sometimes. Depends on how we use the word happy, in what context we use the word happy. But like I said before, I think contentment would be a better word. But let's look at the basic human needs. What do we need in life to bring fulfillment or contentment? Safety and security, love and connections. Well, what is safety and security? A roof over your head? Well, how do you get that? Transportation to and from? Not having the stress of not knowing how to get from one place to another? So, I really would argue that that money can bring happiness and absolutely will bring happiness. But the better question is, for how long? Right? Because the emotions that come out of you really come from the foundation of you and your belief system. And so if you're looking for money because you're unhappy, it may solve a temporary problem and become a temporary solution, but long term, money will not keep you content or keep you happy. It doesn't work that way. Happiness has to come from inside of you, and it has to come from a place of content. Here's another interesting thing. As humans, it's never enough. Have you ever become familiar with something? Have you ever gotten that brand new car or that big, beautiful house, or gotten into a relationship with the love of your life and you are just in heaven? This is just the greatest day ever. I feel so good. And 5 years goes by and you don't feel the same feelings. You don't feel the same. That is part of our DNA. It's never good enough. And I have reasons for believing why that would be. I believe that we were created or made, or for whatever reason, we are part of energy, and we're always working for the greater good. Everything is made up of energy, according to science. And we are made for productivity. So we're constantly moving towards producing, creating productiveness. And if you're not being productive, you ultimately are not fulfilling a deep-seated drive in your life. So that is a very interesting concept, because I've seen videos and talked with people who are wealthy. I've seen the videos of the ultra wealthy. And when they're raw and they're real with you, they will all tell you that once they hit a certain level, there's nothing left to give them that fulfillment. I've done it all. I've seen it all. Heck, even Solomon said that, oh crap, what did Solomon say? Something about money. Oh, no, it wasn't about money. It was about life. Everything is meaningless. I've had it all, I've done it all, and it's all meaningless. Now, some might take that as a negative thing. I take it as understanding the human mind. Once he's acquired everything and done everything that he can possibly do, there's no flavor left. There's no excitement. There's no drive to keep going for productivity. So I think this could be summed up in saying this next statement, that life is more about the journey and less about the end result. It's the journey. It's the journey that's exciting. It's the journey that's fun. It's the journey that brings all of the emotions and all of the drive and all of the excitement and all the things that happen in life. It's the journey. And once that journey ends for you, for whatever reason, that can be a difficult place to navigate. So, can money make you happy? You ask yourself that question. Side note, we hit a goal. I had 20 subscribers. I wanted to double it to YouTube. You guys came through and did that for me. Thank you so much. Because you kept up your end of the deal, now my end of the deal, my son and I are going to be going live tonight at 5:30 with an ice bath. I'm pretty excited about that because I love challenging myself, and that is one difficult thing to do. But the rewards are great. So remember a principle in life. It's not really, I almost said something. I don't think I want to say that. Principle in life that if something's worth having, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to come easy. It's going to take some time, energy, and resources. Okay. Let's see if I kind of covered everything here. Yeah, I pretty much have. There's some other things in my notes that I was going to talk about money and happiness. Talking about debt, even if money does make you happy for a period of time, productivity will keep that happiness going, or that drive. Debt can back you up. The debt can cause stress. Now I'm talking about bad debt, not good debt. There's a big difference between good debt and bad debt. Good debt can help you become more financially secure. Not sure why Siri has given me options there. I don't. Thank you, Siri. I mean, I need help, but not right now. Bad debt, credit card debt, debt to certain things can cause more stress and anxiety. So that will make things a lot more difficult for you. Spending above your means also can be a problem when it comes to money. Oh, Brian says, turn the camera around. Let's take a look. Absolutely, buddy. Your request is my happiness. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Look at that. I mean, that is just absolutely stunning. In the last 8 years that I've done travel nursing, I've gone from California to Florida, down to Alabama. I've been all over the place, and I don't want to go anywhere else. Well, I take that back. I may want to go to California. My wife's been bugging me about it. I want to go back to California so bad. Yeah, who knows? Maybe. It is a beautiful area. But how can you leave this place? It's just, there's something about this place. The energy, the love, it's great. It's great. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. Brian, thank you for being part of my chat every single day. I appreciate you. Hey, Lee, welcome to the chat. Glad you could be here. Jessica's here, Sharon, Gabe, everybody. So more about money. Spending above your means can be very frustrating and cause stress. Loaning to family and friends, that can be very difficult too, because we love relationships in our lives, but that can cause undue stress. My take on loaning money to family and friends is always twofold. First of all, always create a contract, okay? If you are willing to help somebody out, and then they should be willing to thank you for the help and get you back what you gave them. The second thing is plan for that money to be a gift. Don't plan on getting that back, because if you do plan on getting that back, you can be frustrated and that can destroy a relationship, and you have to decide if that relationship is worth it or not. So only loan money to family and friends that you would be able to gift to somebody. Doesn't mean you can't expect that back. You absolutely should. That's your money. You worked for it. You spent your most valuable resource, time, and you traded that for money. So when you help somebody out, like family and friends, you absolutely deserve to get that back. But it's your life. You get to do what you want. That's just how I see it. Relationships and budgeting, that can also be a stressor with money. We talked about this yesterday. Some relationships, some people can be more controlling over money than others. So having a good boundary system and communication with your relationships on how you view money. So, does money equal happiness? I think it does, because happiness is an emotion, and emotions come and go. But does it bring contentment? That's a better question, because contentment can be in the moment, but contentment can also mean, actually all of them could really be long-term if that's the context you put them in. To me, being content is more of a long-term emotion. I check myself, am I content? And that's also kind of dangerous too, because when you're content, you can also be complacent. There may not be a drive to do better or to continue to be productive or creative when you're content. But it's also a good feeling to have contentment when you've been stressed and been struggling with things for a long time. Your favorite place, Lee? Well, come join me. I told Carrie this yesterday. I said, man, what do you think it'd be really fun, or do you think it'd be cool to have like a whole group of people? And she's like, well, do you think it'd be distracting? Do you think it'd be hard to focus on your video? And I said, yeah, but geez, what is life really about? It's about relationships. It's about friendships. It's about, if we can get a group together and we all walk together, I mean, maybe I don't have to do a live, but I still could, and we could all be in it. I don't know. I'm a friendly person and I love people, so it's probably just my like dream of having everybody together and enjoying life. Sharon, well, now I'm going on my walk and I think about what you just talked about. I'm not young anymore, but you make me feel good. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. I'm not young either. I mean, I'm younger than older people, but I'm going to be 43 next month. And I've had to make some changes in my life, both mentally and physically, to be healthy and to be able to keep going strong if I'm going to keep, living. Because, getting old, you know how that goes. So I'm glad I could be an inspiration to you. I appreciate that. Yes, I love to gift money. Right, Lee? I agree with you. I do too. It's absolutely great as long as it fits into your budget and it doesn't stress you out. You don't want to be running outside of your budget, or you'll create more stress in your life. Sean Lee, welcome. Lee says, I don't love to, but I don't mind helping out when people need it. Yeah, that's good. I like that better too, because giving is actually one of the 6, if you go back and watch some of my videos, giving is one of the 6 basic human needs. And giving will take you outside of your situation and put you in a different situation mentally. And when we step outside of ourselves to help other people, it elevates that person and therefore gives us significance, that what we're doing matters. And it absolutely creates love, because giving is also gifts is also a love language. One of the 5 love languages is giving. So you're speaking love to people when you do that as well. Sean Lee, good morning. I think happiness is different than joy. Joy has more depth. How about you? I can be happy but feel joy. Yeah, so I actually, Sean Lee, I addressed this in one of my videos, in one of my previous videos. In the Christian community, we tend to see that kind of verbiage, that joy is more of a long-lasting, whereas happiness is just a short term. According to the Webster Dictionary and other sources, that's really not the case. But it is, language is always growing and changing and morphing. And sometimes we use one word for multiple things. So I actually like the concept that joy is like more sustained happiness, whereas happiness is a motion that can come and go, like anger or frustration. And joy is more of the like long-term contentment with that. So I definitely like that idea of joy being more rooted in something that is long-term, or, like belief systems. We tend to, in the Christian communities, they tend to take joy and tie it with a belief system. So when you trust in God and hope in God and all these things, you create a longer lasting joy. And there's truth to that, because no matter what you believe, whatever your belief system is, remember, a belief system is an act of certainty. You're certain that that is true, or that it works, or that is the right thing. And just because you're certain doesn't mean that that is a solid truth. In my opinion, the truth is, I don't know that I will ever be able to know anything more than my 5 senses tell me. I could pick up on some spiritual things. I can pick up on some energy readings. You can do all these things, but is it really the truth? That one's tough. That one's really tough. I could be certain of things, but just because I'm certain doesn't mean that that is correct. All I know is that I am on this journey, and it feels good and it feels right to love and connect with people and to make people's lives better. That's about all I know. The rest of it is just me going on a journey trying to figure it out. But if you've been on this journey with me and you have a stronger belief system, cheers to you. Because one thing I will never do is take away a belief system. Now, if you invite me to have a conversation with you, to challenge your belief system and to question your belief system, I absolutely would do that. I love that. But I will never knock a belief system or try to tear down or discourage, because a belief system is the most powerful thought a human being can have. When you have a belief system, and go back and watch the video on belief systems, when you have a belief system, no matter any amount of information, no matter what truth stares you in the face, no matter what comes your way, you hold tight to that belief system and it will drive you to whatever the goal of that belief system is. So a belief system is very, very powerful. That's why I did a segment on belief systems, because if you want to change the way you believe, money, relationships, love. It's very important you go back and question the belief systems you have. If you grew up with parents that broke up and fought and had all kinds of problems, you might believe that you don't want to get married or that love is not for you. You might want to challenge that belief system, right? So that's why belief systems are so important. Lee, I don't love to, but I don't mind helping out when people need it. Oh yeah, I read that already. Okay, I'm caught up. Sometimes I get on a rant with talking and then I can't keep up. This is actually kind of new. Normally I've been walking through Pikes Peak and I don't do a lot of interaction because I spend more time on the agenda, on what I'm trying to get out, and I have to stay focused. ADD will tend to get the better of me. Walking and talking is enough, but then stopping and reading comments, I'll forget what I'm going to say. But I've been exercising my mind and doing a lot better with that lately. But I've also recognized that when I start hiking down there while I'm on live, the reception gets kind of iffy, and I don't even know what the reception's doing now. It seems like I have, it always looks good till I go back on the computer and download it. But hopefully it stays good up here. I think it is. So I'm going to do this, and then when I'm done with the live, then I'll do my hiking and walking and jogging and running and exercising my body as well as my mind. Thanks, honey. Great answers. Very helpful. Thank you, Sean Lee. And I just want to make sure that people understand. I got this as coming from a nurse and dealing with people who are on their deathbed or hospice. I never want to take away a belief system. I don't even want to challenge a belief system when somebody is at the end of their days, because that is not a way you want to go out questioning yourself what you believe. The feeling of uncertainty and not knowing can be detrimental. So it's important that I instill in people in that area of their life, I back that belief up. I have laid down in a hospital bed with people and held hands with them and prayed with them. That's how compassionate I can be in scenarios. I'm not afraid. And I've held people while they were passing away. So to me, nursing is so close to my heart because I love people, and it's one of the dearest things you can do is be there when somebody's passing. But as far as everybody else goes, if you're living this journey right now and you're not on your deathbed, if you're living this journey with me, absolutely question every belief system you have. Every question. Even when I was going through Bible school for 3 years, I always questioned everything. Jesus turned water into wine? Well, why does he talk about alcohol as being bad then? All right, let's take a look. Pull out my Smith Bible Dictionary, pull out the Greek and Hebrew Bible to go read it back in the original context and back in the original language. I mean, I did it all because I wanted the answers to the questions. And once you question a belief system, you put it on trial, All right. Is it true, Mr. Belief System, that you believe this, that, and the other? You put it on trial, and that's a healthy, good thing to do. That is not wrong at all. Because think about where you got that belief system in the first place, right? You got it from nature versus nurture. You got it from the people around you, or you got it from the circumstances that you grew up with. And so there's nothing wrong with challenging those, for sure. Okay, well, I think that, oh, you know what I was going to say? I had another little note that I jotted down that I was going to talk about. I don't think I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to save that for the live tonight because I think it's an interesting topic, but it's not necessarily tied in with exactly what we've gone into here. So, great. I hope I've inspired you today. I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever time of day you're watching this. I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you again for all the subscriptions. I'm going to be coming out with another goal. Right now, we are over 40 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm going to figure out, I might even poll people tonight to see what would be the next, once I reach 100 subscribers on YouTube, what would be the next challenge? But definitely do an ice bath tonight at 5:30. So join me and talk with me because it's going to be a challenge to talk while I'm sitting in 50-degree ice water. All right. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here with me. Bye-bye.